Yes, the answer is yes, you should pick Beidou. Cut the video! Hi. Hi, what's up guys, it's Strife here. Thanks for 2k subs. I've been loving the growth these past few weeks. Seriously, thank you. By the way, are you sick of this onslaught of Beidou content yet? Good, me neither. Alright, you clicked on the video. Today I'm going to try to convince you to join me in Beidou Supremacy gang. Now in case you didn't know, there's an event right now going on in Genshin that lets you pick any 4-star from the UA once you complete the 3rd phase of the story quests. And you know who's in the roster.
Yeah, boy.
I'm gonna warn you now, it's gonna be an extremely biased video. Alright, why should you pick Beidou? I'll be giving a plethora of reasons to do so. Starting with her unique ability, which is in the form of her E. Tidecaller is the only counterattack in the game if you don't count Aquila Favonia's built-in counter ability. As some of you know, Beidou's E is my favorite skill in the entire game as it adds a lot of variations to your standard gameplay in Genshin. I've received dozens of comments on how you all find her playstyle the most rewarding or satisfying. Being able to time an attack and redirect it is very different from how any other character plays, and this reason alone is good enough to tell you to pick Beidou. Okay, say you don't care much about her E, like a heathen, and you don't want to necessarily use her as your main DPS. Well, I got news for you. Beidou works really well as a burst support as well, just like Kaya and Shengling's Qs. Beidou's works in the same principle of nut and go. I meant burst and switch, for your main DPS to have extra elements when fighting. Plus you can do this. And it's not much, but it's worth noting that she's the only Claymore user that has 5 hits in the game for her auto attack. Everyone else having 4. I'm not saying this is better because obviously the multiplier scale per hit, but it's something different I guess. Alright, at this point with 2 rate ups, maybe you already have Beidou and are asking, Strife, what's the point of getting more of her? I already have her. Let's go through her constellations, shall we? Starting with C1, this is a decent one where we'll have your Q create a shield. This one's particularly useful when fighting the Oceanid as it will prevent you from shocking yourself too often as the ground is water. And is also useful in a new boss fight with the Primogeo Vaship when he uses his attack that needs to be countered by a shield. While Beidou already has a shield built into her E, it doesn't hurt to have another one when her E is on cooldown. Alright, C2 lets her burst lightning jump between targets. This is helpful when you're up against mobs and run Beidou with someone like Child or Xingqiu, as Hydro and Electro's reactions will help stun lock enemies. Overall, it's not the most useful constellation, but it's not bad. C3 increases your E level by 3. It's beautiful. Not much else to say about it. Now, C4 is arguably the most important constellation for Beidou. Basically, it allows you to deal both physical and electro damage after you take damage. While the wording says you have to take damage, you can still full counter receive 0 damage to your HP and it will still proc this. This is extremely beneficial if you want to build her as your main DPS, so if you have C3 already, I highly encourage you to pick her for C4. Next, C5 ups her level for her burst by 3, once again, good burst support. And finally, C6 reduces nearby enemies' electro resistance when her Q is active. Another support constellation. I'd really only recommend this if you intend to use her as a main DPS or run her with any other electro user. If you aren't convinced yet, another reason to roll for Beidou is that she's very flexible to build. Not saying that the other characters aren't, but you all know the pain of artifact farming. Well, with Beidou, she can work with plenty of builds, including 4-set Gladiator for general use, half Gladiator, half Thundering Fury for electro damage, half Bloodstain, half Thundering Fury for a composite physical and electro build, half Gladiator, half Bloodstain for a physical damage build, 4-set Thundering Fury for a full electro elemental reaction build, 4-set Thunder Suited for a full electro damage build, or my personal favorite, half Gambler, half Thundering Fury for maximum E damage. Still not convinced? Beidou objectively has the best story on how she acquired her vision. Long story short, she fought a sea monster for 4 days straight, and when she killed it, the Electro Archon basically said,
I like this one,
and gave her vision. Also, link to the amazing piece of fan art in the description. Every other character's story is basically, I focused really hard and got a vision, with the exception of Child. Still not convinced? If you're a super cool kid like me, of legal drinking age depending on location, I know some of you aren't. Beidou also drinks in her idle animation as well. Still not convinced? Finally, Beidou wears an eye patch, and... Alright, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you make the right decision and pick Beidou for your free 4-star. She's definitely worth it, and you'll have a ton of fun countering enemies into oblivion. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you like watching me embarrass myself on the internet. And I think it's time to practice what I preach. So you go into here. Yep, that's the one. Bye!